is the Hollywood Chronicles with Frank MacKay. Tune in each week for exclusive interviews with your favorite celebrities.
Two super talented men who I've been listening to respectively for a very long time, and Alec Lifeson, of course, of Rush fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Andy Curran, who I think he did 3 albums with Coney Hatch, who's one of my favorite bands and one of the most underrated bands in history, and Andy's work over there was just absolutely terrific, and the two of them have something that is a must listen to for everyone out there. Envy of None is the name of the band, and That Was Then is the EP, and it's tremendous. I mean, I'm biased because I love both of these their work. First time I'm talking to both of them. Alex and Andy, how are you guys doing?
Great, Frank. Thank you so much for your very kind words.
Well, Alex, let me start with you. You've got to be very excited about this. You're getting rave reviews. I mean, I'm a fan of both of you, so I mean, this is a huge bonus, and I know you've done some tracks together. Is this still exciting for you? Is this old hat to be complimented by I'm sure many people loving this, or does it still get to you?
Well, I love what I'm doing in Envy of None. It's refreshing. It's different. Rush, That Was Then, and Envy of None is now. And it's a different approach to writing. It's a different approach to what the role of guitar is in it. The contrast of electric guitar traditionally against electronic music stands out. And there's a quality about this music that is very cinematic and dreamlike, and that's the most appealing thing to me. To create something that you get lost to listening to. Often we heard a comment on the release of the first record that people would put it on and then just repeatedly listen to it over and over, like right away. And I think that's a testament to the sound and how evocative and compelling it is. It just draws you in, and you want to keep listening.
Andy, let me turn to you.
Frank, I'll just jump in and tell you, I don't think the compliments are ever lost on us, to be honest with you. And I think about the early stages of Envy of None, and we only had about 3 or 4 songs, and we were exchanging them back and forth. And Alex said, maybe I think we have something here. Maybe why don't we play this for a few people that you know, and specifically, Frank, we played it for a few film and television supervisors that will add music to film and television. And it wasn't until then, and maybe Alex can correct me if I'm wrong, it wasn't until then when we started to get some compliments going, oh, wow, you guys are doing something really cool and different here, that we felt at ease and went, okay, we're not just drinking our own Kool-Aid here. People outside the 4 of us actually like that, and that means a lot to us. I mean, it's rewarding to make this, and I don't think the intention is to go out there and try to be commercially successful, but when someone like yourself says, I really love that, the compliment is not lost.
Andy, let me stay with you for another second. Both of you, have had careers where you could have dropped the mic, so to speak, a while ago. So obviously, you're doing this because out of love. You're doing this out of need. I love the fact that you're both producing new music. A lot of your contemporaries just don't do that. They just play the old songs, the old whatever. I love the fact that you've approached it this way. Is it important to you? Are you like a slave to creativity, so to speak? Like, do you constantly want to put something out?
Well, I'll speak for myself, and Al can jump in. For me, being a musician and creating music is part of my DNA. And sometimes if I go too long without being in my little home studio and haven't put an idea down, it feels like my universe is not in a good place. So that's my happy place. I go in, I get stuff out of my head, I record it, and it's who I am. And and pushing myself and not doing the same things. I mean, I don't want to boast, Frank, but it's become very, very sort of easy and routine for me to try to write a rock riff. But scratching this Envy of None itch and trying to step outside my comfort zone and do something different has been extremely rewarding as a musician. And I am a slave to it, for sure.
Yeah. Alex, let me turn to you. When you put together this EP, did you write specifically an EP, or was it a collection of songs?
When we first discussed what we were going to do for the second round, I think we assumed that we were going to do an album. And I had a couple things that she was working on a solo record, and we all had a few other things going on. So there was a bit of a break. And then when we started sharing ideas for Envy of None, we thought that, maybe it'd be more fun if we just really focused on a particular song and released it as an EP and then move on to the next one, rather than having 10 songs and then dealing with them for a year, over and over, mixing it all up. This was much more linear, much more focused. And I think we really like this particular mode of working. We all throw in our ideas, as we did with the first record. We share files. It goes around and round and round until we're absolutely fully satisfied with where we're at, and then it goes out, and then we move on to the next one. It is a really great way for us to work.
Alex, do you have I don't know what you have, a Pro Tools setup or Logic, or do you have something that you wake up in the middle of the night and say, oh, let me quickly throw this down and maybe send it to Andy or whatever? Regardless of what you use, how much material do you have for Envy of None that we haven't heard yet?
Yeah, that's actually such a great question. I thought of doing that because you do have those ideas, and every night I play for at least a half hour, 45 minutes, sometimes up to a couple of hours before I go to bed. And I get these great ideas, and I remind myself to do something the next morning with that. And of course, I completely forget what the thing is. And then the next night, I play something completely different. It's like, oh my God, this is it. This I gotta remember, and I never do. But the thing is, with Envy of None, we've had we share some ideas. I would say probably the bulk of the basic ideas come from Andy and Alf, and Maya has a couple of things that she's worked on that she throws in. I like to get these and just transform them with the guitar parts, and I try to do things that are very untraditional in terms of guitar. What's going to make the song sound creepier? What's going to make it sound dreamier? What's going to make it sound more intense? And use the guitar as a vehicle for creating those colors and moods, rather than a traditional guitar part that's playing the verse riff and this and that. There's a bit of that, but it's not what really drives me. I just love getting this stuff that's, like Andy said, not really in his wheelhouse. It comes, I have to think about it, I play it over and over and over. Sometimes I smoke a joint. That helps me along. And then I start playing. And I found, it's kind of interesting, I found that I'm doing stuff that I never expected that I would do. The ideas are not ideas that I thought I had in my brain. And it's being driven by what I'm hearing from those tracks that have been put together, especially with Maya's voice. I'm so inspired by how evocative her vocals are. Yeah, so it's really, really a lot of fun.
It's great. Listen, congratulations to both of you. I want to keep you on schedule. I could talk to you for hours. Andy, a final word from you. Do you have a website or a social media site for Envy of None that you can point us to?
I believe Envy of None is the handle on Instagram, and those are the best places to go to keep up to what we're doing. We just did a very, very cool video for the track That Was Then, This Is Now, by an amazing guy located in Paris, France. His name is Olivier Boscovich, and really cool. Reminds me a little bit of the heavy metal magazine, the heavy metal movie imagery. But we've got a new video up there, and yeah, that's the best to go to keep doing what we're doing.
Andy, Alex, thanks for being here. Congratulations.
Pleasure. Thanks, Frank.
Take care.
You've been listening to the Hollywood Chronicles with Frank MacKay. Tune in next week for more celebrity interviews with your favorite Hollywood stars.